Welcome to Test My Deck, a series where we go through our Discord and check out deck lists that you submit to me to try out. To be honest, I love this series. It's been really fun and I'm glad we can get back at it. So today we're doing Red, Blue, VIVI. Stilts has given us this deck list in the Discord. Thank you guys for so many submissions. I have so much to catch up on, but if you want to join in with a submission, join the Discord down below. Let's get into the deck profile. As always, just remember this is not my list. This is Stilts. So if we don't like it, we blame Stilts every day. But it's kind of a vibe right here. Nefertari VIVI, this leader cannot attack, which means we're a dual color leader with 5 life, which we do like that. Activate main once per turn, tap 2 Dawn, draw 1 card, and up to one of your characters gains Rush. So basically we need that 2 extra Dawn to really get Rush, so we have strong top end into our 8s and 7s and such. But we really need to keep a strong, even curve. We really need to go second with this deck in most builds. So we need to test out with the new support in this Sanji how we do. So we have the Otama as a 2k counter, which also gives a character minus 2000 power. Marco for some removal, and then we can trash an event in our hand to keep it alive if necessary, which usually it's not, but hey, getting a 3000 power character is good, especially when you can pair it with some kind of lower power removal thingy. We also are running 4 of the super spot build Duck Squad to help us with early searchers and stuff, because usually we just can't get rid of them. And then we can return the 2k to our hand. We also have Shariah. Shariah is going to be a 3-cost blocker that gets the same power as our opponent's leader, which is going to be really good for swinging into our opponent, not needing extra Dawn, and being very efficient as a 3-cost play. And also just something we can give Rush or to have just as a blocker. We're running 3 of the Silver's Rayleigh. I really like this card as a 4 of personally in a deck like this. If we're going for more of a control build, which we are running 4 of the Beckman, 3 of the Marco, and 3 Rayleighs. I like this as a 4 of. I just think it's a good card, but we'll have to see in the deck list so far how it goes. Choose up to 2 of your opponent's character, give 1 minus 3000, 1 minus 2000, and then KO a 3000 power or lower character. And if we're on a 10 Dawn turn, we tap 2 and give that thing Rush. So we just hit them straight in the face for 8k and remove bodies, or we swing into the bodies we're making smaller. Running 4 of the 10 drop Shanks. Just remember 10 drop Shanks will not have our leader Rush. It'll have its own Rush from its built-in ability. And then all of our opponent's characters get minus 1000 power. Personally, this is the hot take of VIVI right here. I don't like this card. I don't think this is the right Shanks to use in here. Personally, if we're going for this control-oriented build, I actually like this Shanks. And I'm not saying completely remove our 10-drop Shanks, but I think because we can filter through the deck so often, which one of my friends from locals, Philip, he plays this deck like crazy. I think this is actually a good option. Well, I wouldn't say crazy, he plays it sometimes. But anyways, I think just having removal is going to be a lot stronger. It's basically as if we actually get to swing, but it's a guaranteed KO. And we're basically just playing the long game. With us being able to draw, filter our hand, do all these unique actions, I think just going for a more control style may be better in the future. But that's, again, just my opinion. So then we're going to move on, though, because, again, this is not my deck list. We're just running through some ideas as we go. We're running the Silver's Rayleigh blocker, which is basically just a blocker, and then a draw 2 trash one if your opponent has 2 or more characters with 5000 power or more. We're running 4 of the 7-cost Ben Beckmans. If we have an odd curve, this is going to be really good on our 9 Dawn turn to get Rush and remove a 6000 power or lower character. And then we have the Sanji. Sanji is going to be amazing if we're stuck going first. We hit that 5 Dawn, we give this Rush, we swing it for 6, and we get to draw a card when it's KO'd. So basically it just replaces itself, filters the hand, does all that jazz, whatever. We're running 2 of the pudding. Not 4 would be crazy, but I wouldn't hate it because this card's so strong. Your opponent returns all the cards in their hand to their deck and then shuffles and draws 5 new cards. So basically, if they have 50 cards in their hand, they return all 50 and they get 5. So basically, it just helps in those yellow matchups and other matchups that you just lose tempo-wise, that this deck is basically built on just drawing cards and keeping resources in hand, being a 5-life, 2-color leader, and having so much draw power and being able to draw from the leader effect. So just having this to really take care of our opponents that really build up hand sizes and can play that long game against us, like Bonnie and such, pudding is just so strong in those matchups. We also have the Cavendish. Cavendish is going to be just a draw 2, trash 1, 0 counter. So we do have to keep that in mind because there's a lot of 0 counter in here. But a draw 2, trash 1 with Rush is like chef's kiss. Chef's kiss right here. I love this. I love this card right here. If you can play this on a 6-Dawn turn, we are going to be big chillin'. We always want to take second, get leader effect on our first turn, literally just for free. Getting to draw 2 cards on that turn is going to be so strong. And then going into 4, we can do a little shenanigans here with whatever. And then going into 6, we play on Cavendish with Rush, swing in, draw 2, trash 1. If we can put 2 of these on the board from our first turn and then the second turn, then give it Rush and then draw 4 and then trash 2, it's crazy. It's crazy. Kyros is going to be really good for another 7-Dawn target. We do really play into the odd curve here, which does help, but the even curve is also straight up gas. Even curve, I've already mentioned that to you, it's actually better. But anyways, we're running a lot of the 7s, which are going to be very strong here. Return one of your opponent's 5 cost or lower characters to its owner's hand. Kyros is going to be really strong on curves. We can just bounce back something they played like a turn or 2 ago. That's going to be really good into a lot of matchups, especially nowadays because 5-Dawn is so strong in this card game. Then we're running Sabo. If a cost 7 or lower character would be removed from your board by your opponent's effect, you may instead return this character to your hand. So it's just a strong option to put on the board. We can give it Rush if need be, but it's also something that helps us from having our characters removed, which really helps into black or red right now with a lot of Shanks out there if they're playing a more removal kind of Shanks. It just helps with anything with removal, red rock, bottom decking, anything. It just says remove from the board. So this stops any single one of those cards. We're also running 3 of the Bad Manners Kick course. This is going to be really good and really bad. I don't like having to run 0 cost event. Hot take, I know. Because we're already running 12 2K counters. So for me personally, I'm only running, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 bricks plus these 2. So we're running 16 bricks total in the deck. I don't know that 3 of the Bad Manners Kick course is necessary here. I think you can run more of 1. And then maybe some better low-end options to give Rush later on, or maybe the Chopper Blocker or something like that. It's a little more utility. Just personal opinion, because at least the Chopper Blocker is a 2K, which is basically what this is, and the other characters, don't have a 1K, but the 2K is good, and it would give us another blocker in the deck, which I think blockers are always strong. I think it's a little stronger than Rayleigh right now, because it's a 6K blocker on our opponent's turn, and it's a, something we can give Rush if need be. I don't know, some ideas. I'm just spitballing here, guys. And then we're running the Gravity Blade. Place 2 characters at the cost of 6 or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. Me personally, I have never tested VIVI in my life. I have literally said I'm never playing this leader, but for stilts, I'll do it. For the Discord, I'll do it. For the One Piece family, I will do it. Let's get into some games on the One Piece sim and see how we can do with VIVI in this kind of format. Red, green, smoker, they choose to go first. I think that's a little goof and a little goofy. We're gonna mulligan this hand because 2 10 drops and the 0 call. I just don't like it. I don't like that one bit, but I like this. I like having a Cavendish. I like being able to draw extra cards on our first turn. That's going to be very strong for what we're trying to do. We also have the Marco for removal if need be, which we will need at some point. Give nothing, Rush, and pass. This leader can have a pudding because they are not blue, so we don't have to worry about our hand size, which is always going to be very nice. They're going to swing 5 at us. We can't counter because we draw so much, but we have to think about our plays in the future. That's very important with this deck. They do build up a pretty large hand size over here on red-green, depending on how they play, and we don't know exactly how they're going to play just yet. I think we're going to drop the Cavendish, even though it won't have Rush. I think that's okay right now. I think that's better than putting down a 3 cost and not having Rush. So we'll give them a Shariah here and keep a very strong presence at the moment. We will swing in. No, we can't swing in with leader. Funny fact, we cannot swing in with our leader. Marco can also not hit Sanji because Sanji gets extra power, which obviously we can't play Sanji this turn, but Marco this turn, but we could do it in the future. Cavendish and pass. Simple, to the point. It gives us the Cavendish on board. They usually shouldn't have some removal on 5 unless they're playing Mulgun, and I don't even think Mulgun would KO because you would make our 1 character lower than the 6,000 power threshold with the Mulgun, so it wouldn't really work. So gonna swing in for 7. It looks like they may be playing a 4 cost or maybe just going 9. We are just gonna take a 7. I'm not too worried about it. And 2 of these 10 drops, this is what I'm telling you. This card is not as good as you think. And then we're gonna have 2 Dawn Restood and swing in for another 7. This is where we will counter out. 2 of the 10 drops can be gas later, but it can also be ass later. So I think we'll go ahead and get rid of 1 and stay a little more healthy than that. We will be able to play down a 5 cost. We won't be able to remove this character is the only issue on 6. They'll be able to block out of our attack for free. That is another issue that I do have. So I don't really know what to do here. We could go Marco and just pop this, but that doesn't really do anything for our game state. We could also just play down pudding and restart the hand just in general. We could also just swing first, draw 2, trash 1. I think we're going to do that even though we don't get much of an effect. We will get the Sanji out. They're going to block out. We will play Sanji here, and we're going to trash a Kyros just because of our curve. It's going to be better to have our bottom decking ability. So now we know we're going to play down Sanji, give Sanji Rush, and then we get another 2k counter, which is going to be really good to filter the hand. And then we have 7 if we want it, but we're not going to go 7 into Chopper. We could leave one open just to bluff a Rad Beam long term, which I'm actually not against. I'm also okay just swinging 6 if they counter out Chef's Kiss, but they won't. Of course they wouldn't. We're going to pass turn there. We now have 2 bodies on the board and a ton of counter in hand, so for life, 2 bodies on the board. We're definitely ahead so far with the board, but if they play down a Beckman right here, we'll be a little behind. I'm just saying, a little behind does not sound good to me. 3 here, I don't know if I really want to give that up, but I don't want to get rid of my pudding, honestly. I think we'll just take the extra draw power, get to filter through the deck a little bit. I think we're okay with that. 5 into our face, we're definitely going to counter out with a 2k counter Duck Squad. I want to be able to have the Marco and Otama combo just in case we need it. They get to freeze down with our carrot here, which does suck. They get to stand up 2 Dawn. And are they going to swing in 6 with this Chopper? I actually don't like that. I think they should play down a Rosinante, in my personal opinion. Yep. Oh, Monet's going to be pretty good here. So we could just Gravity Blade, honestly, which I kind of like here, just to remove their 2 bigger bodies. It's okay that we won't be able to get the draw power or anything like that. We could also Kyros and just bounce the carrot back just to get a body on the board, which I'm also not against, forcing them to play it down again and then going from there. We could also Sanji and Pudding, but that won't do anything. We could Marco and Otama and pop the carrot. No, because then we'd have to double Otama. So I think the best bet may be Kiro, right? It's going to give us a very strong body on the board, force them to play out the carrot again. And then, all right, so we're going to bounce, and then we're going to save the Gravity Blade for next turn, or we can 10 drop, right? So we're just going to pass turn there. We have 1 active, bluffing a Radical Beam, though we do not run Radical Beam. A lot of the VV players don't like it, and I don't really get it. Now, what do we do for 9? Eustace Captain Kid, not scared of it. I got a 7 cost coming in after you, if need be. They grab a Kamakura Jirsoshi, which is going to be very strong. +3, -2, 5k total. It's going to be really good. And they're going to probably put the 2 rested Dawn onto interesting. So they put it there to restand the 2. They could have also just gotten 2 free ones from the Monet, which I understand not doing that. We're going to take this swing, I believe. I don't really feel like countering out of this, to be honest, because we're about a Gravity Blade. We'll have 3 extra to play with. Let's just take aggressively. It may seem like a very interesting option, but I like it personally. We'll be able to bottom deck both of these characters here. So let's go ahead and do that. And then let's play down, I guess we're going to play down Sanji just to get another body on the board. And then we're going to swing in for 9. So 9 is going to go and get the Kamakura Joshishi, or they're just going to take, which I'm okay with as well. Hey, take that. We'll call it a day. We're going to play out Sanji. We could have drawn an extra card, but I actually like having more of a board presence, especially because we did remove bodies. We still have the Pudding for next turn if need be. If they really don't spam out the board here, they just play one big thing. It sounds awful, but then removing that many cards from their hand, especially when we know they've played down 2 Searcher, I think would be really good because they have Kamakura Josushi, and then we haven't seen them draw anything else. Or we didn't pay attention to what they drew earlier. I was going to look through, but I can't find it, so I'm giving up. I find looking through it's a little cheap, and then I didn't think about it until after. So it is what it is, boys. It is what it is. They played on Big Beckman. That's going to be a very annoying card here. Basically just being able to remove the Cavendish for free, which is totally okay, but they're not going big. They may actually be able to play down an extra body. So we're going to give -1 to our Kyros, making it an 8k, and then they may just slap all the Dawn on their Smoker. Ooh, they're going to Mulgun. Ooh, they're going to pop our Sanji. Ooh, they're going to swing 8. Oh, man. We are going to counter out aggressively. I think we're going to give up on this whole Pudding play. I think I'm going to counter aggressively, though. Give up on the Pudding play. We definitely need to have some kind of board. So I think what we could do here is play down Cavendish, give Cavendish Rush, draw an extra card, swing 6 into Monet. We're going to draw 2, trash 1. We're going to drop the Cavendish. We probably should not have dropped the Cavendish. We kind of rushed that idea. We did rush that idea. So we're going to swing in for 9 and then literally just do nothing else. I should have played out the other Cavendish. I will be 100% transparent about that. I didn't think about it. We should have dropped one of the Rayleighs, but also just having the counter isn't horrible here. I like having some counter, but that's definitely what I should have done. I should have kept the Cavendish just in case. 8, then they're going to play, they have 9. I think we counter because we can. I'm not scared to counter this. Really force their hand here. They're probably going to play down a Eustace Captain Kid, get 1, they'll have 2 extra, then they can only swing 6, which will only be 1 additional card, and then we can start clearing up board from there. We will have the exactly 6 right here. That's kind of what I expected, to be honest with you. I think we're going to drop the Rayleigh. I don't think we're in the position where we need a blocker at the moment. Man, these games take forever. They played on another Ben Beckman. Screw you and your Ben Beckmans. I'll say it with my chest. I will say it with my chest right now. So what do we do here? Do we just 10 drop Shanks on them? We could rate -3, -2, and then rush in, but they have the Kamakura Joe Sushi. So we could, but they can't withstand both swings, correct? So Rayleigh wouldn't be bad, and we'd get to draw a card. A little better than 10 drop Shanks at the moment, but also making these at 6K would be pretty good. I think we're in a position to Shanks. I think either way, they're both powerful options here, so I think we're okay doing this and not drawing the card for this turn. I think it's just going to put us in a better position, a very similar position as well, because we'd be given this one -2 and then this one -3 and then swinging both into our opponent. We're going to swing 12 in a face here, and then we should just pass turn. I think we're still safe. We still have 3K counter, still have 3 life, and these are only 1,000 power characters. This is a 6,000 power character now. They can 10 drop. Oh, I picked a scab on my leg. Oopsies. All right, 5 at us. I may actually take that aggressively. They don't really have a rush option. They could Hoodie Jones, I guess. That's probably smarter to counter. I think we'll give up the Marco. I don't think there's a way to play Marco anytime soon. We'll go ahead and give them a 1K counter. They do play down the useless Captain Kidd. They should restand 2 Dawn here, which is going to be very strong. We do at least lower the power of the useless Captain Kidd, and we can pop whatever blocker they play. That was my thought with the Rayleigh, is to hold it in case. 6 we will just does give us a 2K counter in hand, and then they should do something with the Rayleigh. Yep, so this is going to really help us, though, because of the strength of Rayleigh. So we're going to go oh, they just give up. We were going to go -3 to Useless Captain Kidd, make him a 4K, -2 to Beckman, and then pop the Rosinante. Then we're going to swing 9 to the Kidd. He could have gotten out of it probably with the, 4 and 9. They could have gotten out of it with this and a 1K, I'm pretty sure. And then we would have gone 12 at, or no, then we would have gone 8 at it, and then 12 at it if need be, or 12 at the Beckman. Just really clear up the board here. And then we were still sitting on a ton of counter because we were about to draw another 2K counter. Oh, we were big chillin'. Chef's kiss. VIVI, I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it. We are going to be doing a first ever rank against, oh my gosh, going against Lim here. We're going to take first because we have to. We literally have to. And oh my goodness, his hand looks so good, but we just can't do it. We just can't do it. We're going to try it. We're going to try this out. We're going against Lim. We're going to turn off the ranked part so you don't have to see it the whole time. Passing the turn. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a fun one. So we should definitely play the Sanji out here just to go ahead and have a body on the board to be able to swing into their bodies. So that's what we're going to have to do. We won't be able to draw the additional card. Next turn we can Marco if need be, but I think it'd be better to hold the Marco and the Otama possibly together just to be able to remove a 5K, but most of their bodies are 5/6s, so that's not going to be so good. Not going to be so good now, is it? They're going to swing at us. I'm actually down to find some more options. I wouldn't mind finding another 3 cost here, which is what we'll find. Shiraya. I was so close. Sabo. We do get a 2K counter. They spam out a body on the board, and then we may just blast it from the past. Literally just Otama into Doflamingo, and then play out Sabo. We could also Marco. Marco won't get any effect, though. It may be good just to get a card out of hand. They're definitely playing the aggro strategy, because that's what everyone's playing right now. And I don't think playing Otama is worth wasting an Otama just to go for an extra 2K out of hand. So we're just going to swing in for 6, and then we're going to play down the Rayleigh. We won't get the draw 2 trash one, but we will be able to block out of that one swing. No, because they're just going to have another swing. I guess it doesn't really matter. They both kind of suck. These are both kind of bad options, and I don't want to take the chance of drawing into nothing. So I think we'll go Rayleigh. I think I'd rather have removal than the draw 2 trash one. As nice as a draw 2 trash one would be, it just makes more sense. This is why our odd curve sucks. But they got their even curve, which is better for us. They get to still spam out the board, but not the same way. Not the same way at all. Ben Beckman would be very nice. We will have rush with this Marco if we need it. Or we can Otama and then use it. It looks like they're going to swing in for 6 here. 3, 3, 1. So it looks like probably double 6s, right? So if they swing 7 into face, I think we'll just take that. Because then they're just going to be going 6. They want us to block and give us a 2K, but I think we'll just take aggressively and be able to counter out of the next swing no matter what. So we'll take. Not too worried about it. There's our 3 costs we were looking for. I think they were trying to play some mind games there. They're going to be playing down 2 bodies. They also just needed a rested option. Rest and remove. ICU. ICU, as in I'm in the ICU because I'm getting destroyed. We're going to give up we're going to 7. We can just bottom deck both of these, so I think we should keep this alive. I don't think it really matters what we're going to do because we're going into our top end after this, so we're going to bottom deck both of their characters. I think we give up Sabo because we're not too stressed about removal except for Newgate, and we'll give I don't want to give them the 0 cost, by the way, in case you were wondering, why didn't you give them the 0 cost? No. and a Sanji. We'll go Sanji. And we'll keep this just in case there's something we really want to remove. We'll swing in for 6 at their body. No, we may just leave the blocker active just to have it. I think this is what we're going to do. Just pass. Leave the blocker active so it forces them to swing 5, 6, 7, or 8 at face. We still have a good amount of counter in case we need it. We haven't been able to really draw, which is the only issue, but we can still. Next turn we can technically Otama and Marco. They just have to have a 5k on the board. We could also Shiraya, and then Shiraya would be 3. We'd still have, what, 6 left, so we could still Marco Otama if we really want to spam the board, but we really need to get some draw power going over here. I just like being able to have a body on the board. It's going to put us in a lot safer spot because we don't have a leader swing. That's why we had to counter out aggressively to save our Silver's Rayleigh there. So this is going to be a very difficult matchup. This was actually the finals of my locals. Literally literally yesterday. This was the exact finals of my local. I know we're in a weird spot in the card game when you have these two decks going against each other. They play Sakazuki. That sucks. And we don't have a way to remove either of these bodies, so that also sucks. The cool thing is we can Rayleigh, but the Rayleigh will not have a rush. We will have to 2k out of this. We're going to have to really get in there. We could also Silver's Rayleigh of our own. Nah, I think we have to go with the big body. That's the only issue, is because we don't have the cost minus right now. So we're going to play this down, -3, -2, pop a Nell, and pass. So at least we have some kind of board finally, right? Finally, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed, we're feeling good. We're feeling good about this VIVI match right now. Even though our leader can't swing, we are both leaders with very difficult, actual abilities. We're going to give up the 10. We're going to give up Shiraya. Shiraya. Me. I think at this point of the game, we're going to have to give up Marco. I think Marco's the better choice here. If they're just swinging 5 and then 7, we're going to have to take the 7, get the Ben Beckman. Ben Beckman's going to be good to have some removal in hand in case they play down like a Doflamingo blocker or something like that. Or a Mihawk and they get to swing 7 twice. That is actually really, really miserable. He restands himself. Oh, he couldn't restand to Sakazuki. That's pretty good. That's pretty good stuff right there. So Ben Beckman will technically remove these characters pretty easily and have rush, and we can swing 9 at the Sakazuki. So watch this. Watch this. Ben Beckman, get rid of Doflamingo. Then we're going to draw 1 card and give Ben Beckman rush. So now we're going to swing in for 7 at the Sakazuki, get 1 card out of hand, and then we're going to swing 9 at the Sakazuki. This is a very, very long match right here. So now we go 9 at Sakazuki, force the last 2 cards out of hand, and we like that. We have tons of counter, so we're still in a very safe spot. They have to kind of go all in, it feels like. So we may be playing on the back foot, but we do still have 2 blockers. They swing in for 7. It looks like we will counter out of this because we have to. So go ahead and get out of that. We should be safe now from them trying to kill us. 9. They don't have a rush option. They could have Hody Jones. This deck literally cannot have a rush option. They may pressure us down to 0, but we still would be safe even if they did. So we may just have to go down to 0 and feel safe about it. We get another blocker on the board. That's going to be really good. We're going to be able to clear their hand size pretty easily here. And we will take this as well. Some people may say it's greedy. I just think it's correct. So they're going to have 2 bodies on the board. So we need to be able to do double blockers, correct? So we're going to go 7 into 7 here. They shouldn't block or anything. They should just let this go. We'll go 8 into 6. That's going to clear out the board pretty well. We should have Rayleigh first. That was stupid of me. Boom. Bam. We're going to draw and then give this rush, even though we're not going to use it. That's going to give us something to toss for our 0 cost. And we kind of need to win on this next turn, right? So we're definitely not going to swing in for 6. They would just take very, very happily. Even if they split, that would force them into a split, and then we could get out of the split. So maybe we should have went ahead and swung, because 2, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 7. So if they did split, we'd be perfectly fine. 0. We just get out of that for free. I don't know what they're dropping here. Maybe a 9 drop Zoro, but they kind of just lose if that's what they do. They go for a Nell, draw 2, trash 1. They're really just trying to go wide here. Looking for something else, I guess. Something of some sort. They are looking for something of some sort. We need to stay alive. That is my goal, is stay alive. Let's look back at the new gate. That KO's a 3 cost or lower, so that would be Shiraya. We need to keep that in mind because we would just lose our blocker, and then they would only have to tap. They would tap 5 to do that, and then swing in for 6. We could just easily get out of that with a 2k counter. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep everything in mind to stay alive and not lose. They drop 2 cards out of hand, a Mihawk and a Luffy. I I think the Mihawk would have been really strong for the next turn, but they also need some kind of counter, it looks like. And then they should just swing in for everything else. We block in 2K, and we get to keep our whole board. That's going to be pretty good. So now we could Rayleigh with Rush and draw another card. So Rayleigh, -3, -2, pop. We give Rayleigh Rush and draw another card. So now we're sitting on 3K counter, but we have to stay alive, so... we definitely have to clear out this body. Alright? And then we need to swing the face twice and leave the 2 blockers just in case, and just hope they don't have an option to rest our 2 characters. That's our goal. Because if they do, they just win. Honestly. They just win if they do. Because if they have an Uso Hachi, they'd need double Uso Hachis, and then they would still have 4 Dawn, and we only have 3K counter. So that, or they would need, what? Sakazuki would be good. But no, they couldn't do Sakazuki. They couldn't do Newgate. They'd have to play out 2 characters first, and then, or they'd have to play one other character. Ooh, they have it. They have it. Pick no cards to draw. That tells us they have one in their hand or in their life. That's kind of wild, actually. They do have the Newgate. They have the Ace. Oh. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. We're going to go, we could literally go Rush and everything, so... we're going to... I don't even think we need to. We just go... it's just math. 7. 9. Hey, GG's. My buddy Philip, who lost to Lim in the finals. I mean, this is kind of just how you win the game. I don't know. What'd you do wrong? We just won. We just ranked up. We just ranked up. Look at this. Boom. Up to 466.8 million. Light work. You can't do that. Like, you know how they'd like snap their fingers? I was trying to do that, but it didn't work. Running it up with Shanks, and we're still in ranked. I've never done ranked so much on a test my deck. I've never actually done it at all on a test my deck. They're going second. We're going first. We need a mulligan this hand because that's just not going to work. This isn't going to work either, actually. This isn't going to work either. This is the worst possible hand I've ever seen on a VIVI game. Like... this is literally the epitome of horrid. Like, this is awful. We could go for a duck build squad, whatever. Just have something on board, but I think I'd rather just draw at this point and just pass, because we need to filter into some new cards. This is not going to work right now. They're going to swing 5. If they swing 5-6, we're kind of okay with that. We'll just take the 5. We do actually get a body to put on the board at least, like something actually feasible. And they may just play down a Lucky Roo. Lucky Roo is going to be very annoying, but something we're just going to have to deal with. Play this down and pass. So... we're getting a very, very weak board. We should be going into 7 here, so if they play on a 5-cost Yasop, we're going to bottom deck it, which is going to be very nice. They're going to swing in for 7. We're going to have to take again. They don't really have a way to control our hand size here, which is very nice. And fun fact, we're just going to say no, because we're not really going to be able to do anything else with those characters. We could swing into their... so it sounds stupid to swing, right? But because they give -1, we still get to draw 2 trash 1 here. And I think we're actually going to drop the Kyros because I'd rather have the removal against this deck. They get to minus it for free, but it's still a 6K character. So they're swinging into the 6 rather than our 5, or they're just going to drop a Rayleigh of their own, and that's going to be a whole different beast. We will give them a 1K here because we definitely do not want to die anytime soon. And we could Otama Rayleigh, right? And we're on 9 Dawn. We could Otama Beckman, but that's not going to be as good. Otama would make this 6, and then Rayleigh would make this into a 3. So we have to Otama for sure just to get rid of this. Or we can choose just not to get rid of it, but I think we should. And then play down Rayleigh. Boom, bam, bop, pass. There we go. Nice and easy. They're going to swing in for 5 here. We're definitely going to have to counter out with a Sanji in our hand. And then they're going to play a 10-drop Shanks, which is going to be very obnoxious. So 10-drop Shanks is not so fun, no bueno, but if we 10-drop of our own, does that put us in a very good spot? I think it puts us in a better spot. I think we're just going to 10-drop 12 in. They're going to have to just take. They're not going to counter out of that, and we'll just pass. That's kind of my thought, at least. They could, swing really big into Shanks, which is kind of okay. That's crazy. We could counter out 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. We could counter out. But we won't. That would be stupid. We still have the Rayleigh. We still have options. They swing in here. We'll give him Beckman. I don't think Beckman's going to do too much at this point because we already have Rayleigh for removal. We could also just start going smaller. We could go Cavendish. It would have been nice to have that Sabo up earlier, actually. This is tough, man. I almost like the draw 2 trash one, really getting the filter, but the Rayleigh just seems like a better option. Because we also get rush off of it, so -3, -2, pop the Uta because we can, draw an extra card, and then get to go ahead and swing in with the Rayleigh for 8 at our opponent's leader. A pudding would be very good sometime soon. They should counter out. Yep, that's going to be the smart play because they have so many cards in hand, and they are going against a blue deck. So right now it would only be 9. This guy just has every form of removal he needs, it looks like. We're going to have to give him a 2K because we probably are going to need this Rayleigh, it's looking like. It's looking like we may need this Rayleigh sometime soon. So 9 into us, we're going to have to take that very aggressively. That's just part of the game we play, it seems like. We don't have many of our big bodies. We're going to play down Cavendish and give Cavendish rush. We're going to swing in for 6, draw 2, trash 1. We're going to drop the Marco here. We will not need that Marco. They're just going to counter out for 1. That's going to be very smart. And then we should just play down a Shariah. Just to have a blocker or something on the board. We could play on another Cavendish, but then we're in a very not safe spot. Because they have 2 12s and could be 12, 12, 15. We can get out of it, technically. Because we can get out of the 15. We can get out of the 12. We can get out of whatever we need. But just having the blocker... Oh my gosh. Bro. This guy has every form of removal he needs. This never happens to Shanks. This never happens to Shanks. We're going to counter out. It's going to force one of these swings into it. There we go. Now at least we stay alive. That's going to be good. At least we're alive, you know? You know what? This is how I'm feeling. Watch this. This is how I'm feeling right now. This is how I'm feeling. This is how pissed I am. Dude, this guy's just beat me. What can I even do about that? That's so miserable. That makes me so angry. It makes me so angry. GG's. We're playing into Shanks. I've never seen this matchup before. Don't know what's going to happen here, right? This would be great for going first, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that be good for going first? Okay. We're good. We're good. All right. Let's draw an extra card and pass. Super simple. Does exactly what we need to. This is a horrible hand, by the way. Like, this hand actually kind of makes me upset. This is so good for going first. But when we played this guy the first time, it wasn't good for going first. We are in another game of ranked here. This is actually a different guy, so interesting enough. But we're still going against Shanks. They're going to swing in for 8. Hey, well, I'm going to take it. Search for some options. Of course, we don't find any that we really want to play down, so we're just going to play down Sanji and pass. I think I'd rather play Shanji than Shariah just to have some aggression here with a 6K swing into their leader. It's going to be pretty good. They should just Yasop. Oh, they're going to swing in for 6. We will counter out of this. Very happy to counter out of this with a duck build squad. Got the squad. Ooh. I don't like that. I don't like that. We're going to swing in for 6 and see what they choose to do. We could Shariah pretty easily here, get rid of Lucky Brew, do whatever we need. We could rush in with Shariah, a blocker. Depends on what they do with Lucky Brew. Ooh, they take? So what we're going to do here is play down... they get so much value out of Beckman if they do that. I'm going to play down Shariah, give him Rush, and then swing in for another 6. Right? Just to continue to filter through the deck. I could have easily gone Rayleigh, but I don't think we needed a Rayleigh. Even if he does Lucky Roo and pop one of our characters, he Beckmans the other one, which should be the Beckmaning the Sanji to not get the on KO. Chooses to keep his Lucky Roo. Sweet. I like that. This is going to be a 5K body on our turn, or on their turn, because it's until the start of the next turn that this gets the extra 1,000 power, which is very nice. Very, very nice. So if they swing in for 11, you know, technically, if you look at it how it was earlier, you know what I'm saying? We're going to go 7 into our character. We're going to let that go. We're going to go basically no board, and just let the vibes happen. Because we're going to bottom deck both these characters. He's going to swing 7 into Sanji now, which is going to be cool with us. We're going to let that go and draw a card. We do get the Pudding. Pudding is going to be very important, but we're going to just send both of these to the bottom of the deck and pass. So it's just going to even out the playing field. It's going to be like, okay, you removed my board, I removed your board, you have 10 drops, I have 10 drops, we're both ready to go, and this is how the game should be played. If you go second, this is how the game should be played. I think we're in a really good spot here. A lot better than we were. I really think adding Rad Beam to this deck list would be very good. They have 6 open, so it looks like maybe a 5 and a 1 cost. I don't know what they even run for 6. 8? They can't really control my hand size. I think we'll just take. I don't think I'm worried to take with this. 6? I don't know what they'd be playing. Maybe 5 and a Hongo? Kid Killer. Oh. That's very interesting. They swing in for 7 here. We're definitely going to have to counter out of this. We're going to give up the Rayleigh. I like having the Shariah a little bit more right now. So we're just going to... Could Cavendish. That would be 6 Dawn. We'd still have 3 left. No, because that doesn't guarantee anything right here. We're just going to swing in 12. We already have a large hand size. We don't need to draw the extra. I think that's going to put us in a better spot. We still have a ton of counter in hand. Even if he tries to blow this out of the water with a 15, just give him 2 2Ks, and we're good. We're good. Good like gravy. I like it. I like it a lot. Because we're going to put 2 of these things on the board. Yep, 5. I will just give you a 1K counter. Nice and easy. We do have the pudding, but it depends on what they do. Ooh, they play a Shanks of their own. They think they're so strong. They think they're so good. Cool, we'll take. I'm not stressed about it. Because guess what? I am going to completely blow your Shanks out of the water. So, let's think about this. I can make this a 9K. And then how much do I need to swing into? We could pudding first. Ooh, pudding. Well, that's only -1 card. It's not really worth it. 1. Give this -2. And then our goal is to just drop a Cavendish on the board. So we'd still have 5 Dawn to put on our character. Swing 16 into 9. Then we lose a 1K counter. Let's do it. Let's do it. 1, 2. We could have just gone another Shanks, but I feel like we lose that battle of the boards right there. Even though we could put down blockers and everything. And then we leave, what, 5? No, we could go 3 on top of it, because this is 9. So 11 and a 9, we go 3 on top, then we can play down the Cavendish and get the extra swing in, right? That's kind of greedy, because we're going 11. No, wait, we're going... Dude, math is tough. 14 into 9. Let's just see. Let's just see. I think I'm fine with it. If they do counter out, that's good with me. I actually like it. We have a ton of counter. We'll be able to draw 2 trash one here. You'll be able to still swing into life. Yep. I like that a lot. Give me everything you've got. We're going to draw an extra card here. We're going to get a 5 into their leader. Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to do this just for the memes. I mean, dude, that just sucks. Like, what do you want me to do about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you specifically want me to do about that? Drawing every single top end piece in a row right here, right now. What do you want me to do? You viewer, what do you want me to do about that? They played on the Silver's Rayleigh. That's just going to remove our Cavendish here. That's fine with me. They give -2 to our Shanks. That's fine with me as well. Now they're going to swing into our Shanks. You think that's going to happen, buddy? Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. Suck it. Yeah, looks like a good time to me. So this guy's gonna be -3, but we could play down another one. We could play down another one. This is gonna be 7. We can't get rid of it. Could give -3. That'll make that an 8. Then we're an 8 and 9 into it. That's not really good. 8 just gets out from leader effect. 9 just gets out from 2K. Let's just do this. Let's just go 11 into it. Give me a 2K. That's fine. Sure. They're gonna want to clear my board, right? We're gonna swing in with Otama. I think that's how we're feeling. We're gonna swing in with Otama at this point. We only have 5K counter, so swing with Otama. What are you gonna do? -1,000 to your leader? Oh, okay. Yeah, we definitely should have probably swung the lead actually with this Shanks and just really aggroed them down and been like, hey, you got it or I got it. Like, one of us has got this. One of us has got this. I would love to see more of these at this point because we have bricked up. I love this Cavendish. I love this Shanks and this Rayleigh and all that jazz. But hey, if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. They're going 15, and then they're gonna go, what, 13? They're only removing one of these, though, and I can rush in with another one. But if I counter out of this, I can't counter out of anything else, so then they just swing into one, and they can remove it anyways. Or they go twice in my life, which then I have to, you know, survive that as well. So either way, I have to counter out, right? Like, mathematically. But if I counter out of this and they play a rush option, they go 5, 7, and then 5, 6, 7, they win, technically, based off us not knowing this if these are both 0 counters. So if we 0 cost the Cavendish and give him a 2K here, he should probably be swinging the other one. Screw it. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's be funny. Let's be silly. At this point, I don't even care. It's ranked. Who cares? Yep, that's going to take his whole turn. 11 into 11, guys, and we just don't have 1K counter. All we need was 1K counter. That's all we need. All right, well, let's play down. You guessed it. Another one. You guessed it. And then we're going to go 12 into 6. Because there's no reason to go in, or 11 into 6. Because we got to remove one, right? And there's no reason to even swing this Shanks. He just gets out of it for free, basically. And basically, if he just splits his 2 swings, he has guaranteed lethal in the next turn. So he should be fine. He should be fine. That's crazy. But if we didn't counter out of that, it was going to be, you know, an 8 and 8 into face or something like that. So I think we're just trying to be silly, have some fun. That's what this deck is about. If you're Big Mom's biggest supporter, don't forget, leave a like and comment. She loves you if you support her dad. Hi, big baby. Hi, big baby. They should not be countering out of this. They should just say, okay, go. Well, our opponent just disconnected. Hey. We'll take a win. Okay, we're off ranked now. We're not going to do ranked. We're just going to go second here. And I think we will log in that hand. I like this actually a little more out of the weirdness of my heart. They played on an upper yard, get search top 5. Grab a Kalgara. Kalgara is going to be really good for what they're trying to do. We're just going to draw an additional card. I don't think they have a searcher we really want to swing into, so we're not too stressed about it. And we're going to pass. That's just going to help us filter through the deck a little bit. We're going to drop the Cavendish probably on 4, because there's no reason to put the Sanji on the board rather than the Cavendish. It's just lower cost or lower power. They're going to swing in for 8, choosing not to leader effect here. We're just going to take aggressively. I'm not too worried about taking. We're going to play down the Cavendish and pass really quick right here. We're both good players. Kalgara, speed this up. Let's run it. So they should swing in for, they should play on Ohm, play out Holly from hand. Getting 2 bodies spammed out on the board is going to be very good, and they should swing in for 6 here. 6 we will 2K counter out with a Duck-Build Squad group thingy. They're going to play out a Wiper. Look at the top 4, reveal the upper yard, and then add it to your hand and play it. So they're going to search the top of their deck. They do find the upper yard, and they do find another Kalgara. Because why would you not be able to do this perfectly? Because everybody high rolls against us. That's just the game we play, you know. It's our fault for letting them high roll. We're going to swing in for 6, draw 2, trash 1. We will get a Marco here. We can Otama Marco, remove this Ohm just because it has the most utility later on. So we know we need to probably drop the Sanji because we're not going to be playing it. We need to have removal against this matchup here. And we're going to, like I said, Otama the Ohm, and then play out Marco, pop it, and pass. That's at least going to give us another body on the board. Not one they can swing into either because we did not rush it. I was actually going to go for the Sanji play before we did draw into that. We're going into 8 on the next turn. Oh my gosh, dude. I got cat hair all over my nose. Okay. We're back. We're back. They're going to swing 5 at... Okay. We're actually back this time. They're going to swing 5 at us. I'll take it. They're not going to call me on my bluff. Okay, well, you got me now. I'm going to counter. I'm not going to give them the Beckman, though. I would like to keep the Beckman. They're going to swing in for 6. They're going to heal up 1. They're going to swing in for 6 at our Cavendish. Either way, they're going to get a 2K counter. So now they're going to play out Kalgara. Now they're going to play out double Kalgara, it looks like. Yep, we will counter out with a 2K counter. And then they're going to play Nolan. Nolan's going to be really good here. We're going to be playing out Rayleigh. We're going to pop the Nolan and give -2 to one of their characters. Then we're going to swing in. They play out an upper yard to draw an extra card. They get the extra life from the Nolan. We need to find a way to remove Kalgara, but there's not a way to feasibly do it without losing a 2K counter. And I don't really want to lose a 2K counter at this moment. Yeah, so we're going to Rayleigh first. Go -3, and then we're going to go -2 on, I mean, it doesn't really matter which one, honestly. I like the dog more. And then we're going to pop the Nolan. That's going to be super simple. And then we're gonna swing 6 into the wiper, draw 2, trash 1. We get another Rayleigh. Oh my Lanta. Dude, getting all these nose hairs. And we're gonna keep the blocker. I think the blocker's actually gonna be really good. I think we're gonna drop the 0 cost. I don't think we're gonna need that. Show them that we have a lot of counter, quote unquote, although we don't, but we do. And I just don't think we need the 0 cost because we need to keep this game going. This is gonna be a very long one, grindy match right here. They're just swinging face, that's what they need to do. And they give us the 2k counter wiper out of hand to save the Holly. That's exactly what we kind of expected, but we knew they were not gonna save the minus 2000 power character, which was gonna get another 6 into it. So 7 into our face shows us they're probably gonna go 7-7. And they're gonna play out, so 7-7-8 here. Keep that in mind, all right? So they're, wow. They're gonna go 7-7-8, play out another Nolan, and gain another life. They're gonna get a very large board. So we're gonna take this one and then counter out of the next 2 because we have to. So 2 and 2-1. So we're gonna take this. Sure. We did it on the dog just because mathematically we expect them to go 7-7s across the board. It just makes the most sense. We will counter out of this one though. It's gonna be a really good trigger for us actually, because now they would have to commit more. We're expecting them to play down a Mont Block Nolan to gain a life. Yep. So that's what we were playing into and why we did things kind of how we did. Cool thing is we do have another Rayleigh here, so we can pop what we need to. We won't be able to get rid of this Holly, which does suck, but the Rayleigh will have Rush to swing into their characters. They grab another Kalgara. That's going to be very annoying. So, yeah, Rayleigh's just going to be the best option in my opinion. 10-drop Shanks is good, but it's not good enough, I don't think, in this situation. So, this just having Rush, we're going to go -3, -2, and then pop. Then give this Rush, drawing an additional card. It's going to be another Rayleigh. That 0 cost event would be very nice in hand. We're going to go and swing 6 into this, draw 2, trash 1. We're going to drop the pudding, because we're definitely not going to need the pudding. This at least still means we have 8k counter in hand, and we're going to burn every single card out of their hand. So I'm swinging these 6s at this first, just because I want them to counter, and this is going to guarantee it dies. So if they give us a 2k, 1k, this one would guarantee it would still die from this Rayleigh having Rush right here. If they split properly, they don't win. They play out an L Thor, so now they would really need to give us every card in hand. Now they would really need to, right? And they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that, right? Because that would be so stupid. They have to go for game here, which is, well, they don't have to, I guess, because they still have 4 life. Only 1 card in hand, but there's nothing else you can really do. They're just going to split here, and they should just be swinging life. So looks like 10... Oh, they messed this up. We take the 10 for sure. They can put us on 0, which is fine, actually, because we should just be able to go for game ourselves. So we'll take... They don't have a way to split and kill us, technically. Now they're going to go 7, because obviously that's how they do it. So they're going to go 7, 8, 9, which is really scary, because that's why 6 was afraid of 7. We're going to counter out of this, because we have to. And then we only have to be able to get out of a 9 to, you know, so we can take so that they don't swing our board. Because if we... Yeah, we would lose a body on the board. So we just take just because we have to at this point. And then they're going to swing in for 7. Interesting. Well, obviously we have to counter. We can give him a Beckman. Now, he left 2 Dawn active. What is 2 Dawn for here? I'm trying to think of this. Technically, we could just go for clearing board here and then play it on the blocker. Correct? I think we should. I think it's going to be our safest option. I just don't know what this 2 Dawn's for. We can have Rush if we need it. I think this is the safest play here. Draw 2, trash 1. 8 into 8. We're not going to Rayleigh because we have to have a blocker. Blaze Slice would be sucky, but he wouldn't have a body on the board. 8 into 8. So we can draw an extra card. I'm trying to math this out. So just in case it is a 4K counter, I guess we just go 3. Just go 9 into face. If they tap 2 Dawn to do something here, that's fine. We're going to play down Chiraya, the blocker. Please split incorrectly. No, that's not how you should do it. You should, block. Yeah, there's no way. There was no way. We were so close. It was so close. If we just had a 0 cost event right here, we wouldn't lose. Think about that. If we would have just dropped the Shanks from hand to have the 3k counter in hand instead, because we ended up not needing the Shanks, which we couldn't have known that we didn't need the Shanks. But if we would have just thought about it, we would have been fine. And we would have won, because they would have gotten 2, 2, 1, and then 2k in hand. They would have had, oh dude, we would have been chilling. Because we also could have rushed with the Rayleigh if need be. We could just split with our characters. Could have just swung, what, 7, 9, 7, 9. So that's only 2 Dawn so far. And then 3 Dawn there. That would have to be 11. Oh my gosh, we would actually have to have perfect math too. So no matter what, I mean, I think they were going to win. Because then we can only go 10, 11, and they can get out of 10. They were just guaranteed to win either way. GG's to our opponent. That's going to be it for VIVI today. And there we go. There you have it. That is going to be Nefertari VIVI right there. Tapping 2 Dawn to gain rush on any character. I don't think I played it perfect, but I definitely can see there's certain things I don't like. I don't like Kyros. I actually do like 0 cost event. I think Kyros is good into possibly Bonnie or some other matchups. But I don't know. I just don't think this is my personal kind of build. I think I'd give this a solid like 8, 7, 8. Like, I don't think it's bad. I don't think the build itself is bad from a, you know, off meta kind of perspective. Now, if you're looking at it competitive, I'd say it's more like a 6 altogether, just because VIVI really can stand against certain decks, and certain decks it just folds massively. Some decks are just really hard to win, and some decks are just, it's just rock, paper, scissors for this deck, I feel like. So I definitely think this is strong, and it's going in a good direction. I definitely think possibly adding something like Mole Gun right here, just being able to minus 5,000 power and then KO a character with two costs or less would really help. We never played into a green matchup, but it's something I've observed that it would be really good into Useless Captain Kid, basically. Although, if we also run the 10-drop Shanks, it would be a great option, but we don't have removal based on the board already. So having that 10-drop Shanks, if they have a Rosinante, you just lose that effect, or a Tashigi on the board. So I think Mulgun is definitely a good option to have just out there on the board. So definitely something to think about is Mulgun. I think possibly just finding some other big bodies here. Definitely not running this VIVI, and I think Beckman might be overkill, possibly more down to a 3. I don't think Marco's good, personally. It was just not my cup of tea. I mean, it's just maybe how I play, of course, but there's definitely times where this is really good into the green matchups and such, so I'm not saying just get rid of it. I'm just saying I don't think you need 3. I think 2 is good, because you have to think about how much you draw through this deck, especially if you do find your Cavendishes when you need them. So I'm just saying there are options like this Rush Luffy. I think Rush is definitely a good option, just automatic Rush, especially for that first curve, which we lose so much using that first curve. I think this Luffy would be a really strong addition, possibly even taking up the whole space of Marco, just to have something to do on curve and get rid of smaller bodies. And it would be a 7k swing technically. So I think this is something to look at in the future, possibly replacing the Rayleighs with these. If you want to go more control, I can understand the Marcos though. I just don't know that control is the best if you're not running the other 10-drop Shanks. I think this one felt a little more, if you're ahead, it feels good to play. If you're behind, you'd just much rather have Rayleigh. So I'd almost rather play 4 of this and then maybe 2 of this and 1 of the 10-drop KO Shanks, because we saw how strong that was against us. So again, those are all just observations I made throughout the game. I really like this Sabo when you need it. It did not come up, you know, where I could put this on the board at a proper time and still have counter in hand. You know, I'd rather just play Cavendish, but if I need this, it's really a good option. I like this card a lot, and I think it's underutilized in the current format for blue. I really like Pudding, of course, because there wasn't a situation, again, that we could use Pudding, but you can give it Rush. So if you're on a 7-Dawn turn, you need to remove their hand and swing in, you can, or you just need to get rid of a small chump blocker. You can also do that with this character. I love this Sanji. I think that's an amazing addition. Great job on this one. And I love Shariah. I think Shariah is just so underrated right now in the current format, because if you swing 9 Dawn on your, or 5 Dawn on your leader, and you swing all in, I just block out and give you a 1k counter. That feels good. I was really hoping our Kalgara match at the end would misplay and do something like that, and then I could have just countered out of the first one, blocked out of that one, kept my whole board, and kind of swung in, but obviously that would be stupid not to just split down the middle. So anyways, that's going to be it for VV. As always, I appreciate you guys for putting deck lists in the Discord for me to test out. I try to do it more. I will try to do it more, I should say, more often for you guys. So definitely join in the Discord. Let's just continue, you know, building up this community. The PAL product, the PAL, let's continue to build up Mr. PAL community as much as we can, or whatever you guys want to call us. Like, come up with some kind of PAL nickname, because I had people from my locals come up with ideas, and it was like the PAL Posse or something, and I was like, interesting, but no. So let me know your idea on what our community should be named. Anyways, love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.